We are going to Daboya Mankaregu. The man who was elected by the people of that constituency in the Savannah region is Shaibu Mahama. Now, he came to Parliament and they gave him additional responsibilities, chairperson of the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee. But he's also a member of a committee that was a subject of controversy yesterday, the Appointments Committee. He's my guest on Point Blank. Honorable Shaibu Mahama, you're welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you, Omaru, and my first time in your brand new studios.
Yes, it's beautiful. Huh?
Yeah,
it's
very,
a reset agenda. We are following you. You know.
Don't let somebody take you on.
Oh no! The president said we are all resetting.
Don't let my learned senior Fenyo take you on.
I beg you, I don't want trouble. Yesterday, when he led his team out, I saw you also get up, carry your books. So I said, oh, are you also walking out alongside the minority, only to see that you have gone to do a U-turn and sit on their seats?
Yes. So I mean, exactly. So we needed to occupy the seats and to set a tone for the proper business of the house. Indeed, 2-3 hours of non-far, as we call it in ONA level.
It was non-far when critical legal matters were raised.
Yes, raised at the wrong time and at the wrong forum.
How so?
I mean, you see, our rules, we are governed by rules and regulations in the House of Parliament. Whatever we do at plenary is the same rules and regulations that govern us when we get to the committee level. And so nothing changes. What changes is a chair, and the chair sits in the stead of the speaker. And so it's the same procedure. So what you cannot do on the floor of Parliament, you don't transfer that to at committee level.
What can you not do? Can you not make a submission and say that based on what we have said, we don't want to be part of this quote and unquote criminality, so we are walking out?
That would have been simple.
Yeah, but that's what they try to do.
No. If they did that, I mean, that would have been straightforward.
So you were frustrating his attempt to speak to Ghanaians, and that you were heckling and you were editing his speech for him, which he had struggled to edit. I mean, even added a touch of Shakespeare in the Macbeth. You shot all of that, decided to stress him, disrupt him.
The business of the Appointments Committee is to vet and pull out the qualities of a person or a nominee that the president has put across. Come and read long literature, impugn the integrity of members who haven't got an opportunity. So it's for good reason that the laws frown upon. Do not mention any person, a name of any person, commission or committee who hasn't got the opportunity to defend itself or himself. And so clear rules. So on the contrary, they came in there with a script. Unfortunately, they didn't get opportunity to mark it. And
you ended up marking it for them.
Yeah, we just told them that script cannot be marked as far as the present circumstance is concerned. And that was what happened.
He said it amounted to gagging, and that you were sitting on the rights of the minority to be heard, which is a key fundamental expectation of a parliamentary democracy.
You can always be heard, but you'll be heard at the manner that is akin to obeying rules and regulations, because we are governed by two important booklets: the Standing Orders of Parliament and the Constitution of Ghana.
Someone said to me yesterday that he was surprised you were acting, and I mean the NDC side, you were acting the way you were acting because the issues were being put to the foremost member of Ghana's judiciary. He was sitting there. He has been Supreme Court judge for 17 years. He's been judge for many years, decades. He could have answered for himself all the issues that were raised. Why don't you let him respond? Why, especially when he was sitting there? Why do you have to try and defend him when he could defend himself? Perhaps even better than all of you could do for him.
Unfortunately, all what he was reading out were not directed to the nominee who was seated there. Indeed, let me put on record that the vetting process is a constitutional process. And nobody, no institution can stop Parliament from performing a constitutional duty, except where there's an injunction on a process that Parliament will respect a court order. As of the time we were seated to vet, there was no such injunction. And so there was nothing to prevent us from going ahead with a mandate that Parliament has bestowed on us. That's the first one. Secondly, we never gagged anybody. Everything that he sought to say yesterday was to impugn the integrity of either the Attorney General, who cannot have the opportunity to respond, or the very learned Justice Bowman, who was seated right there and chaired a commission, a constitutional commission. Committee, yes, he was impugning the integrity of such people. And the laws frown on that. So all we sought to do was to tell him that, look, live within the remit of what the Committee on Appointments has given you, period.
We are told that a lot of things happen behind the scenes, and that what we see on the TV is a very minute percentage of the main work you do at the back. Did you not have all these conversations behind the scenes before coming before the cameras and, like you said, wasting 3 hours of our time?
So we had conversations. We remember that, preliminary comments and remarks are not part of our rule books. They are just conventions that we think
which you have adopted and so is allowed.
They are conventions. And so because they are conventions, there's no particular formula. But what is clear is that even though we had met to say that these are the rules, we have said consistently that we will not give time limit to leadership. But be reasonable enough to keep, we have chiefs and other people who have come to sit to listen to wisdom, to listen to what the nominee has for Ghanaians and in the role that is coming to play. So do not unnecessarily keep them waiting. Those were things we agreed on. And we agreed that he will make his preliminary comments. But those comments cannot go outside the rules.
Did he say to you that they were going to walk out after the preliminary comments?
Well, so, we got information that the script I told you about, they wanted to come, sit down, and denigrate everybody, then walk away. And those people you denigrate, you impugn their integrity, will not have the opportunity of defending what you have said. And so we said, no, you can't have that.
But you would agree that the absence of the minority took some color from the vetting, because the expectation is that the opposition will usually ask the tougher questions of nominees before appointments committee, and that the majority side often just does congratulations and bye-bye.
37 years. And
are you talking about my age?
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about a nominee who was before us.
Mm-hmm.
So much experience. Supreme Court for 17 years. What we're just trying to ask of him is not because it's just a leadership position. Because any judge at the Supreme Court can become a Chief Justice. And so he is capable of answering any question and every question. But they missed a glorious opportunity. Indeed, all the press conferences they now went and held could have been questions that you posed to the nominee to answer. But that did not take the shine away. Indeed, we asked very germane questions. Questions that go to the core and the root of our judicial jurisprudence and the judicial service in general. And so, ranging from the Supreme Court and paneling, Supreme Court itself as being constituted as a special court to hear only constitutional matters. Of course, if you go to some jurisdictions like South Africa, they have a constitutional court. So in other words, you don't travel with all other cases up to the Supreme Court. So there's a cutoff point at the appeals level. And so he answered all of that. And importantly, legal education. You guys struggle to write exams, entrance exams to go into to the law school. Time passed from faculty. We just walked straight into into the law school.
There was no barrier.
There's no barrier. You just walked. Once you pass at the faculty, then you move on straight into the law school. But look at the barrier, the backlog of cases. More than 15,000 graduates, LLB students, are waiting to get into there. And these are important questions that we asked of him.
So your own estimation of how he fared as a member of the legal fraternity and a member of the committee
was absolutely brilliant. You see, sometimes it's not about personality or asking about personal things of a person, but about his ability. A 68-year-old man was emphasizing on AI. I mean, so you can imagine the vision. Says he wants to use AI. I mean, we all know that the human element in paneling judges has become a big issue. And so he says, well, in some jurisdictions, he's heard that, we can use AI. And that was a question I asked. I mean, how he was going to take off that suspicion and that element that you empanel judges to sit on cases that will favor, a government in power. Take note that, Supreme Court judges all over the world appointed by a president, And so he brought up the issue of AI. Using AI to empanel judges, very, very critical and important. And then also extending sittings of the court. And that's why he talked about, sitting up to 9th. 9th doesn't mean 12 a.m. or 1 a.m.
24-hour court system.
Yes, absolutely. And so it's very innovative stuff that he delivered to us yesterday.
You are also a member of another committee of Parliament, Constitutional Legal Affairs. So you deal with legislations that are brought outside or within the House. Is that the plan?
Yes.
Are there some big legislative instruments that we should be looking out for? The one on our environment and forest, is it before your committee, or once it is laid, nobody can touch it, so it just goes through?
No, so it rather get to us when Parliament is seized with the matter.
Okay.
In other words, when the ministry or the executive we have two forms of bills actually. We have the private members bill and then the bills emanating from the executive. Okay, so normally those will be from the ministries, departments, and agencies, but they will have to be routed through the sector minister. Okay, so once that is brought and laid, and then Parliament is now seized with the matter, then Parliament refers that to the subject matter committee and, of course, Constitutional and Legal Affairs. Prior to this sitting, it used to just be leadership of Constitutional and Legal, but I had an extensive discussion with Mr. Speaker on this. Mr. Speaker has agreed in principle that the entire membership of Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament will be part of that. Okay. So the current bills that we are looking at and anticipating to see is the critical one of legal education.
Okay. But it's yet to go through cabinet for it to even come before.
Yes, it's gone through cabinet already. It's just the AG signals me that I've got a draft copy of that anyway.
Okay.
Signals me that will be laid before we go on recess in December.
In practice, how is it going to be like? Is it that there will be no entrance exams?
Yes.
Like you said you used to have in your days?
Yeah.
So
there will be no entrance exams.
The critics of that system say that you're going to allow, pardon my language, quote and unquote, chaff to go through. Yesterday, if you notice, one of the questions I was asked of the CJ was that they were churning out lawyers. He said he didn't like the word churn. Now, the thinking and the critics say that when you do that, you have essentially lowered the bar for everybody to pass through.
No. So you see, it's because they have not appreciated what the concept is about. So we're saying that, like accounting, we are accountants by profession. You sit anywhere, everywhere in the world, and you write either your ACCA or whatever. You see, if you go to the US, it's the same system. Now, the new system will be to accredit some universities to train the students, just like Makola would have trained them. And then there's now a general exam. So if you accredit KNUST, UPSA, UDS, UCC, University of Ghana, to train both the theory and the practical. So all the things that you would have learned at the law school, Makola, you will do that at the various faculties. And then there's a general examination for everybody.
Is that examination not going to be the same as the Makola exam?
No, but it's not entry.
Yeah, but it's exit, which is...
Yes. No, that one is entry.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
This is exit.
The new one is going to be exit.
Yeah, this is exit
which
exam.
Is a bar exam.
Yes.
And it can be as problematic as the entrance exams.
No. Whatever it is.
Because if the entrance has rejected people, so many people, then the exit could also...
The entrance has rejected people, not because they do not know. It has rejected people because of space.
Okay.
That's structural.
Okay. So now that
and so people who are capable of getting into the law school by merit, because you have a limit to it, you have restricted them.
Okay.
And it's not because they don't know.
Okay.
Tell me, how many universities would spend 3 years in training an LLB student?
First class students fail.
Yes, and you take 5 minutes to examine. It's even worse when we had a interview. And in 2018, we had to summon the General Legal Counsel to the Subsidiary Legislation Committee to explain to us why they are still holding on to interviews. And we saw that system was so corrupt.
Discriminatory.
Absolutely. Gone are the days where, what's it called? A certain lecturer, I don't want to mention names, will ask you to wake up in advocacy class and tell who you are, who your parents are, whether they've done law and the rest of it.
To prove whether you merit to be.
These are long gone. Where we treated law as if it was a court, it belongs to a certain class or category of people. That is long gone. The new reforms that we want to put will put that will bury that completely. Okay. And so whether you're from Kulungungu, Hafasini, whatever, once you can get in and pass the bar exam, you become a lawyer.
Very well. Another thing happening in Parliament today, your front bench is now at war, quote and unquote, with the front bench of the minority. Listening to, Mahama Yarga make the announcement he made today that he's hoping that Afenyo Makin be referred to the Privileges Committee. Should you not be doing more diplomacy?
Well, sometimes...
Because this would be said that you are further, stifling minority view.
If you follow diplomacy up to a certain point and it's not working, you just have to push it to the wall.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I think so. I think that will give in a lot of room for some of these things to move on. Sometimes we spend 2, 3, 4 hours, just arguing over procedure when government business is sitting and waiting. The whole afternoon, we've been talking. Mr. Speaker had calls to say that we cannot come and sit and be talking about procedure every day, as if we are now new students who have gotten into a level 100 to learn what the university system is.
You put those procedures there and said that you abide by them. So if they have to be tested all the time.
Well, but we don't turn the chamber into a courtroom where you have 2 lawyers arguing over a case. No. There's business to be conducted. And if we strictly follow what the rules are, without necessarily overstretching what the meanings of the rules are, we can make progress and we can serve this nation better than we currently are doing. And
this your tiredness of tolerating people, would it possibly lead to expelling the minority? Is that what your plan is? Well,
not necessarily the minority. Mr. Speaker just says that, look, I've relaxed the rules for so long a time. And I think that let members come out. If there are any breaches of privileges, let's crack the whip.
We need to go, but let me just give you a minute or two. Let's talk about Dabuya Mankrago. Your constituency. They voted for you. They say come back to represent them in Parliament.
They did.
How is the constituency looking?
It's looking great.
You've not been given position. Mahama didn't give you, his kinsman, he didn't give you job. So
yeah, he gave me a job. Yes.
How?
He afforded me opportunity. He led a party that sponsored me. Remember that anybody who is in power in Parliament is the party signed your document before you can become. So that's a job he has given me. A job that stretches to serving your people. Also, Dabuya is fine. Dabuya Mankargo is largely rural. Nearly 60% of the constituency is rural.
Wow.
We still have about illiteracy rate is still quite high, and so it was carved out of the then Damango Dabuya constituency, and so a lot of development will have to take place. The district is barely just a little over 10 years old. So new things are still coming up. We're trying to open up the road network, trying to get in more schools into the system. And so it will take some time to match up to other districts that have been there for years.
I come from the Shai Osudoku district, the constituency of the Greater Accra Regional Minister. Sadly, the two names of the constituency don't have a road connecting them. So the Shai part to the Osudoku.
Yeah.
And when I say the road is bad,
Yeah.
Is it the same with you? Do you have a proper road connecting the
Absolutely not.
Daboya to Mankargu?
It's just access road. I won't call it a proper road.
Which one is the district capital?
Daboya is a district capital.
So people from Mankargu and the rural areas
will have to come this way. In fact, Mankargu is even closer to Upper East. So we share a border with Yagaba Kobora.
Oh,
and so
that's how far you are.
Yes,
okay.
I mean so wide from Daboya
the
to the other
side of Tamale.
Yeah, from to northeast side of Damongo,
okay,
where the capital is.
Okay.
So we share a border with Tolon Kumbungu, we share a border with Yagaba, we share a border with Yape Kusogo, and we share a border with Damongo.
Interesting. You are very large.
Yes, absolutely wide. From one point to the other is over 100 kilometers. Wow. Yeah,
wow.
Connecting
That's 3
about
hours of
connecting about 53 villages. In some cases, I mean, you go to streams and then the rest of that. So it's quite a difficult. I mean,
please make a difference. Leave something before you get. I mean, I don't know. I mean, not saying leave a mark before 2028.
Absolutely.
So that if you want to go ask for their vote again,
my father has been the paramount chief of that community for over 40 years.
Okay.
And so it's a community that is ours.
Yeah, so you must build it.
We must
both as a prince and an MP.
Absolutely, we must build that community.
We wish you all the best, and thank you so much for joining us, Honorable.
Was grateful, and I mean, it's a pleasure to see your beautiful studio. I think
we'll bring you again.
I would love to come back again.
That's if you also bring us to your chamber.
No, we will. As for your chamber, you are there. Our beautiful chamber.
yes. Thank you so much, Honorable.
Thank you.
And this member of Parliament for Daboya Mankargu joining us for Point Blank tonight. He is the chairperson of the Constitutional Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament, a member of the Appointments Committee. That's it for Eyewitness News tonight. I'm Omar Rusanda Amadu. I did this with Jubi Afia Kentin. Technical production.